Welcome back to Viral Ed for another educational video. As always, don't forget to like, comment below, share with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other videos. There is videos linked below, so make sure you check them out also. Today we are going to talk about Newton's 3 laws of motion. In the video, we will discuss what are the 3 laws of motion, and then go into more detail of what is law 1, inertia, what is friction, what is law 2, force is equal to mass times acceleration, and what is law 3, action and reaction. What are the 3 laws of motion? Newton's first law is inertia, which states when an object is at rest, it will stay at rest or in motion at a constant velocity unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Newton's second law is a force is equal to its mass times acceleration. Newton's third law is for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. What is law 1, inertia? Inertia is the resistance of any physical object to change in its velocity. This includes changes to the object's speed or direction of motion. If you have a soccer ball in front of you, it won't move unless acted on by an unbalanced force. This force could be you kicking the ball or hitting the ball with another object. Another example is a golf ball. Without unbalanced forces such as gravity and air friction, a golf ball would stay in the air and not fall back to the ground. The reason if you throw an object in the air and the object falls back down is gravity. Gravity is an unbalanced force. So what is friction? This is why objects appear to slow without visible outside forces. There is 4 types of friction: sliding friction, which is common in ice skating; rolling friction, which is common in bowling; fluid friction, which is air or liquid friction. This is common in swimming and kicking a ball or throwing a ball. And the last is static friction, which is the initial friction when moving an object. If you slide a book across the table, notice it comes to a rest and doesn't slide forever, falling off the end of the table. That is the result of friction. What is law number 2? Force is equal to mass times acceleration. The force of an object is equal to the product of its mass and acceleration. When mass is in kilograms and acceleration is in meters per second, the unit of force is equal to newtons. But how do we work out force? If we look at the force required to accelerate a 1,000 kilogram car to 3 meters per second, we look at the equation, force is equal to mass times acceleration. We're trying to find the force, so force is equal to 1,000 kilograms, the mass, times by the acceleration, which is 3 meters per second. This means that the force required to accelerate a 1,000 kilogram car to 3 meters per second is 3,000 newtons. Let's have a look at the last law of motion. What is law 3, action and reaction? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Object A, your foot, and object B, the ground, interact with each other. When you run, your feet exert a downward force on the ground, and the ground exerts an upward force on your feet, allowing you to run. Another example is the propulsion of a fish. A fish uses its fins to push water backwards. In turn, the water reacts by pushing the fish forwards, propelling it through the water. The size of the force on the water is equal to the force on the fish. So the harder the fish exerts force backwards, the same amount of force that it exerts backwards, it will receive forwards, propelling it through the water. This is the same with birds and flight. Flying through the air, birds rely on the 3rd law of motion. As the birds push down on the air with their wings, the air pushes their wings up and gives them lift, allowing them to fly. Okay, let's quickly have a look at the review to make sure we have covered everything. Law number 1, inertia, is when an object at rest or in motion will stay at a constant velocity unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Our example of this was the soccer ball being stationary or the golf ball falling back to the ground. Law number 2, force equals mass times acceleration. And law number 3, action and reaction. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Examples are running, fish while swimming, or birds flying. That is all the information for today on Newton's 3 laws of motion. We haven't had time to cover every aspect, so don't forget to do some research to further help with your learning. I would like to thank you for watching, and again remind you to like the video, share it with your friends, comment below, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Once again, thank you, and I will see you next time.